And to all my streamer viewers, because I didn't actually have my microphone turned on because I'm that kind of person, welcome to Southern Cross Dota in-house night for the Thursday. I'm Ice Cubed, and this is game 3 of this evening. Captain's Draft is the game type being played, and our bands are Death Prophet, Timbersaw, Slark, and Templar Assassin, so a few picks that we don't actually like seeing because they're just really strong heroes. Queen of Pain getting picked up for Sad Cunts, and free refills on the die side, Silencer and Sven. Interesting choices there. But the game continues, and we get Dazzle picked up for the Sad Cunts. Dazzle indeed. Interesting choice in the Dazzle, because, well, it's Dazzle, and there's actually a lot of other stronger supports that people like to see over the Dazzle, like this Ogre Magi. Like, maybe not stronger than Dazzle, but he's definitely something that you could consider picking up. There's also Keeper of the Light, who's also there, and Disruptor has been picked up by free refills, as well as, well, Wraith King's getting picked up by Saghuns. So that will probably most likely be our main carry, as well as Disruptor getting picked up for refills. So it will be a Wraith King versus Sven. Sven that game, by the looks of it. Oh, Sven. Anyway, but if we have a look at the supports, there is an Enigma in there as well, and Enigma is really, really, really scary. Very, 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 very. If you have a look at the pool, there's still an Undenied, there's still a Husker, there's still an Undying. By the looks of it, I'm guessing Silencer will head towards the middle lane because he's just that scary. And we'll probably push Disruptor and Sven to lane together. Now, if Enigma gets picked up for them, that's a really strong combination because Black Hole into... what's it called? The Black Hole into Kinetic Field into Static Storm. I am correct. Is a very, very, very deadly combination. But they are going to pick the Clinks, and on that note, Saghans is going to pick up the Keeper of the Light and the Bloodseeker. So it'll most likely be a Bloodseeker mid, and in fact the Enigma does get picked up for free refills. As I said, it'd be a very strong combination, and it would be scary not to see that happen. Well, it'd be silly not to see that happen, because it's just so, so, so scary. If we have a look at the heroes who are still left in the pool while we wait, there was still a Troll Warlord and an Ursa, so that could have been a potential level 1 Roshan. Maybe? Don't know. But no heroes left in the pool actually. Ogre Magi being the only one besides that. Tusker, Undying, and Tusker and Husker in there is still. So. Could have been pretty cool sort of combo. Tusker, Husker. Tusker, 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 Husker. Alrighty, we're in the game. Welcome to game 3 of Dota is Hard in-house gaming for this evening. As always, I am the lovable Ice Cubed. Joining us on Sad Cunts, we have Tony's playing the Dazzle. On the Bloodseeker, we have Teasy Young Wheezy. It is Teasy Young Wheezy on the Bloodseeker. Picking up the Cottle is the Clearly Distorted. OG Small Cat is going to be playing that Queen of Pain, and finally on the Wraith King, who is looking to go into the off lane. So an odd choice is 4-3-5. Interesting little lineup we've got there. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, roaming around in the jungle to start off with, we have 5 on the Disruptor. Silencer heading towards mid is played by Homebrew. On the off lane, we have Angus de Bull playing the Clinks. Sven going to be picked up by Mush, and last but not least, we have one of our very own admins, Sophie, on the Enigma. Going to check Roshan to start off with. I mean, they don't really have a level 1 Roshan side. If they picked up Skeleton King and the Ursa, yeah, maybe. But it doesn't look like it's Alrighty, and the creeps are off. Enigma getting that level 1 deny on the Eglodominons. Immediately heading back to base to heal up. DD is going to spawn bot, and it looks like we're going to have an aggressive tri-lane here by the Radiant by Sadcunts. Coddle, Wraith King, and Dazzle. Interesting lane setup there. But the creep equilibrium is actually going to be quite in favour of the Radiant. Actually, meanwhile, Instabil versus TZ, Young Wheezy on the off lane / safe lane for Radiant, and Keeperlight charging towards mid with a double damage room. Don't know what he intends on doing, but he sort of just ran into lane, denied a creep, or didn't even deny a creep, and then just ran off. Of course, being spotted out by the ward that was up there. Top lane already, Sven is actually going to get gone on. Wraith King throwing out that stun, but not enough lockdown to do anything else. Disruptor taking a bit of damage from Keeper of the Light, actually. Doing quite a bit of damage, in fact. Keeper of the Light is going to get stopped by Sven, and that's first blood going to go to Keeper of the Light. Sven blocking Disruptor. Not quite what you want to do there, but it's what happens when that happens, I guess. It's quite interesting, sort of. Yeah, okay. Well played, Disruptor and Sven, well played. Anyway, meanwhile on bottom lane, it does look like Angus DeBull has been hitting Teasy Young Wheezy quite a bit, but it does look like we have a pause at the moment. Might be some connection issues, maybe not. It is in fact a connection issue with Bloodseeker, but if we talk about that... Oh, Sven, what would we ever do without you? That was very, 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 very silly. Oh man, I just don't know how to comprehend all this information that's coming in. Like, he was dying and he was going to get away, but Sven come in from behind and body block. Like, oh, it's not what you want to happen for first blood. That's for sure. Well, if we have a look at the match-ups, we have Silencer has only got 2 last hits and 2 denies. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain is actually taking a fair bit of damage from him, so asserting dominance very early on, the Silencer. It's quite scary. Both level 3 at the moment. Silencer just sneaking ahead with half a level. Back in the off lane, it does look like Bloodseeker is taking a bit of damage. He's going to max out Bloodbath first, so he will be able to regen quite a bit in lane. Looks like he might go for an early Radiance build, but he does have 0 regen left. So Clinks is just free to harass him. Meanwhile, back on top lane... we have quite a bit happening. Keeper of the Light and Skeleton King actually make a pretty awesome duo, because clearly the sword actually getting caught out quite a little bit. Sven's going to come in with the stun, but no follow-up. But as I was saying, Keeper of the Light and Skeleton King, the mana's always going to be up on that Skeleton King, so it's going to make his life a lot easier when it's coming to stunning the enemies and doing all that sort of nonsense. Queen of Pain running towards the rune on only 30 HP, so quite cocky. Overconfident, it's going to pop the haste, is going to have to use the bottle, and it's going to use a Tango at the same time. Might look to do something on this mid. Silencer is going to just back off. Queen of Pain, what's she thinking? 2 points in Shadow Strike, so doesn't have the bursty nuke yet. But Keeper of the Light going to spot out Disruptor. Going to see what they're going to do. Stun's going to come out onto the Disruptor. One massive crit to start off the fight, and no real follow-up. Pings come out on the Keeper of the Light, but they're going to have to back off because... Oh no, here comes Enigma. Malefic's going to come through, but the is no follow-up yet again, so Radiant are going to be able to back out just in time for that to happen. For nothing to happen. But as it happens to be, the Radiant do survive on the nick of things. It is a dual lane versus a tri lane though, so it does make Sven's life a little harder, with constant harass coming from both ways, especially considering it is a offensive try. Now, if Keeper Light didn't pick up that early first blood, I believe that this offensive try would just be in a really useless sort of position at the moment. Like, they should have ran it as a defensive, or even dual lanes, because there's only the one with the Enigma in the jungle here. But it's just what happens. Queen of Pain picking up I don't know what kind of rune that was. I think it was a regen. In fact, it was a regen. She's going to come in, use the Shadow Strike. Going to get one Scream of Pain off it, but it's not going to do any damage because it just doesn't have the points in it at the moment. Clinks is actually second on the leaderboard in last hits, right behind Enigma. So Clinks is actually having a really easy time down here. It's going to be really scary when he comes online. Queen of Pain actually taking a fair bit of damage. It must have been from, it was the Curse of the Silent and the Last Word, just the massive nuke damage. It's really hard to fight against. I didn't think anything was happening, so that's why I didn't look down there. But it happens. Disruptor using that Ball of Lightning on the Thundershock, I think it is? I think it's Thundershock. I don't even know. Thunderstrike. Bottom lane. Clink's taking a fair bit of damage from that gank by Queen of Pain. It's going to hurt him quite a bit when it comes to... he was having such a good lead, and then that happened, and it just really pain in the arse for him. Now Bloodseeker's going to get a little bit of space. He's able to do some stuff now. He's going to pick up a few items now. It looks like it kind of looked like he was trying to rush maybe an early Midas and then go into a like sort of Radiant sort of build, because he just had no items and had a fair bit of gold left over with absolutely no regen. That's why he was having such a rough time. But that's what happens. Silence are picking up a haste rune now. Might look to go on Queen of Pain, who she only has half mana. So if anything happens, she will be able to blink away. Because Last Word's going to get used, she is going to blink on the spot and take a bit of damage. Sven here now, just sort of standing around. Going to try and leech as much experience as he possibly can. Disruptor is still only level 3. The supports on the Radiant are actually ahead of the supports on the Dio, I believe. In fact, they are, so quite helpful there. But in return, though, the Skeleton King is only level 4. Going to take the few last creeps that are just hanging around. Bloodseeker looking to rotate towards the jungle now. Has 4 levels in first, so it'll make it a little bit easier. Disruptor now roaming towards bottom with the haste rune, so might be looking to go on Bloodseeker if you can find him. But Rupture is online at the moment. It's going to get spotted out. No spells are going to be used though, because it was a bit too late. Meanwhile, on top we have Enigma coming in with the black hole. It's going to pick up 2. There is a dead Dazzle. Skeleton King is not going to be far behind, or Wraith King if you like to be known as. Disruptor is going to get ruptured on. Bloodseeker coming in, but just not quite enough to do anything. Well, not ballsy enough to try to do anything. But a very good exchange there. 2 kills for the free refills. It's going to make it a little bit helpful.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Clock's now pushing this bottom lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Teleporting from Wraith King, so he's had enough with top lane. They've just fed 2 kills. And he died as well, but he's going to do a bit of damage now to Clinks. Going to throw out the stun, but Clinks is just going to turn around and just start hitting him really hard. It's going to back off as the Queen of Pain comes in, and might try and look to go on the Wraith King. The pings go out, but nothing's going to seems to be happening. Meanwhile, so Bloodseeker has decided to come top now and try and do something there. Meanwhile, Disruptor's rotating towards the middle lane, towards the bottom lane, I should say. Clinks is actually going to find Wraith King. Wraith King's going to throw out the stun, and Clinks and going to pick up that last hit, and use Skeleton Walk to get away. Pings go coming out at the moment. Nothing's quite happening. It looks like we had a kill on the middle lane, so another silencer kill there as well. Getting those last word and Curse of the Silent off, making life hell for the middle laners. But see, once Silencer starts to get this sort of lead, it starts to get a bit scary. Midas is on the Courier, 9-minute Midas, so it's not the greatest effort, but it's still not not really bad. It's going to absolutely propel his farming. Stun gets thrown out by Wraith King, who is probably the worst hero to be fighting Silencer at the moment, because with only one skill that he can cast, it's going to make it quite difficult. Queen of Pain spotting out the Regen Rune on top. Looks like it's going to be a race between Keeper of the Light and Silencer. Keeper of the Light smart, making the right decision and denying it there. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain's going to get spotted out running up the middle lane. It's going to swap with Wraith King, who looks like he's going to head towards the jungle with no points in Empiric Aura. It's going to make it a little bit hard to jungle at this point. Bloodseeker taking more harass by the Clinks, as Clinks just, with level 4 points in Searing Arrows, that's a bonus 60 damage. Makes it hell hard, especially when Bloodseeker's missing last hits like that. He's going to be forced out of lane, in fact, on just under 130 HP. Few pings coming out of mid lane now. Looks like they know something's going to happen. Queen of Pain actually asking for some mana, but it looks like Keeper of the Light are blind, because, as we all know, Keeper of the Light, he loves the bitches. Quote of the day, Keeper of the Light loves the bitches. Clink's actually taking a lot of damage. Bloodseeker is going to be able to spot him out, but he only has to do a few hits. In fact, the silence will finish him off, so really lucky there by Bloodseeker. Having that 1 point in, actually 3 points in Thirst, so he can see heroes when they're invisible with that permanent vision. Silencer doing a bit of damage now on this Queen of Pain. She is going to drop Curse of the Silent and Last Word. There is just nothing you can do. Silencer picking up a 3-0 lead now for kills, with all of the other heroes just picking up one for themselves. Queen of Pain and Clinks both dying twice, so playing a little bit too aggressively. Well, it's not even that they're playing aggressively, it's one blink and then Silencer will just jump on top of you and do all that he can to make your life hell. At the same time though, Illusion Rune's going to get picked up. Clinks is going to find the Radiant Courier, and he's going to make up for the 2 deaths by picking that up. Keeper of the Light going to drop very, very quickly, with only those few points. Enigma has a Blink Dagger up already. He's going to use Malefice and going to get it off. The amount of bonus damage that this team has with Glaives and the Searing Arrows is just ridiculous. There's a lot of bonus damage coming out. 45% into damage bonus for Silencer, and a bonus 60 damage per auto attack with the Searing Arrows. It looks at the moment we're going to have a trade happen.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it looks like GG has been called, with Keeper of the Light leaving. Rage quitting by the looks of it, which is actually a very, very depressing sort of situation, especially with the start that it had. kill he got with the double damage. Anyway, this has been Game 3 of tonight. I'll be casting a few more games. Stay tuned. This is Southern Cross Dota in-house gaming. I'm Ice Cubed, and